Hello everybody and welcome back to another episode of the Sir Alex Ferguson Challenge with West Ham. Now, if you missed the last episode, go back and watch it, find out what happened, and then come back here. Have you seen it? Right, we're through to the Champions League quarterfinals, completely unexpectedly by the way. And before we get into today's action, we need to find out who we're going to actually play in the quarters, so let's get into the draw. So, in terms of teams that we could face, Borussia Dortmund, Chelsea, FC Bayern, Man City, Man United, Paris Saint-Germain and Red Bull Leipzig. I would like to avoid the English teams. We've got an incredibly poor record against them in European competition, but we'll find out right now who we're going to get. Paris Saint-Germain out first with Red Bull Leipzig. That was the one I wanted, to be honest with you. FC Bayern against West Ham. So we've got Bayern Munich in the Champions League quarterfinals. First leg we're going to be away from home. Second leg obviously will be at home. We'll see how things go. So we are here. It is Champions League quarterfinal day against Bayern Munich. There's only been 2 games since we last met and they were both in the FA Cup. The first of which was a 2-0 away win against Liverpool. George Mendler put us in front inside 3 minutes and Fabio Silva got a late penalty to secure the victory after what was admittedly a tight game. And then we went out to Arsenal in the semi-finals. Despite dominating, they went down to 10 men in the 63rd minute, but we could not find a way through. And we actually did okay in the penalties. It got to round 8 or 9 or whatever it was, but they ended up winning 8-7. We missed 3, they missed 2. It happens. And that brings us to today's game. We are missing some players through injury. Sandro Tonali, I'm not going to start him. He will be returning to fitness for the second leg. Brent Beckiart, I think he's got a few days left. He might miss the second leg, but we're going to have to go for it anyway. So we're going to start with Craig Davies in goal, Copra, Aubrey and Felipe as our centre-backs. Puerta and Aaron Martin as our wing-backs with Toussaint, Villalibre and Watkins in the centre. And Fabio Silva and George Mendler will lead the line. Let's get past the quarterfinals for the first time in this series, please. So Bayern Munich lineup in the 4-4-2. They do have one of our former players in Joveljic up front. He has formed quite a good career from himself. He did go to Chelsea after leaving us. He went out and loaned to Sevilla the season after, and then he's had a fantastic season at Bayern Munich, so we will have to be careful of him. A lot of recognisable faces here with Jonathan Tah, Mats Hummels, David Alaba, Tolisso, Goretzka, Zivkovic, and obviously Joveljic up front and Kimmich right back. So 4-4-2, I don't say that formation very often. I'm not sure how we'll perform today with that in mind, but we'll see. So, away from home, first leg, we want to avoid what happened against Atletico Madrid in the previous round. I would love to get back to our stadium with a draw at the very least. That would be absolutely fantastic. Obviously, an away goal is always important. I just don't want to get beat. Highlight now, Zivkovic with a free kick for Bayern Munich. He plays it to Mats Hummels and he's going to get down this left-hand side. He's whipped the ball in. Ramos, Luis Felipe clears. Apostolou to Muya. Joveljic, Tolisso. Just wide. Early chance for Bayern Munich. 22 minutes in now. Corner for us. Kotbra picks it up on the edge. Don't shoot, mate. I don't think you've got a shooting start in your body. Luis Felipe shoots though, and he hasn't either, so fantastic. Another highlight, 35 minutes in this time, and Fabio Silva picks up the ball on the right-hand side. Villalibre tries to find Aaron Martin on the left, and it would have been such a good opportunity if he had made that pass, but it looks like it's going to go Bayern Munich's way. Zivkovic gets to the byline, he finds Apostolou in the box, and they hit the bar. Another highlight and another Bayern Munich opportunity. Zivkovic plays the ball in, and they've won a penalty. Why are we doing something so stupid? Luis Felipe gives Joveljic the chance, and Craig Davies saves the penalty, and we're still in this. Come on. This is all Bayern Munich right now. This first half has been a bit of a wake-up call. I have reduced us from the positive team mentality to the balance to see if we could maybe get a foothold in this game as Fabio Silva picks up the ball in midfield. Hopefully we can break. Toussaint's got it now. If you could switch it to the right-hand side and find Puerta, he does. Alaba misses it completely, and Puerta puts us 1-0 up. He beats the keeper at his near post. He is a god. Great player by Toussaint. He holds onto the ball just long enough, and the pass is just about perfect for Alaba to miss it. And Puerta, with a great finish, the keeper should do better, but he doesn't, and we're 1-0 up. And that's it, half-time. West Ham 1, Bayern Munich 0. Do you know you get the feeling like last episode where it felt like Football Manager was just going against you? It kind of feels like we're on the reverse end of this in this game so far, at the very least. Martin Watkins has picked up a knock and I'd rather not risk him. We're going to get Jerlek on. I have been training him in the centre midfield role. He does have the stats, he just doesn't have the understanding as of yet, but needs must. And Jerlek picks up an injury. I'm not going to get him off. For one, we haven't got anyone to bring on in his position. So, Jerlek's not a key member of the first team, so it's Bruce Shins. We can deal with that. 10 minutes to go, 15 minutes to go, we're going to make our final substitutions of the game. Our centre midfielders are struggling, but we haven't got the opportunities to take them off, so we're going to get Ilias on for Aaron Martin. And I'm going to take off James Puerta. Tomasek is a more defensively minded right wing back, so hopefully bringing him on will mean that we're a bit more stable at the back. With 5 minutes to go, this game can just fly past it. Go, just keep going. Highlight. We do actually win the ball. Joshua Kimmich gives us straight away from a throw-in, and Tomasek finds a lovely ball through for George Mendler, and George Mendler puts us 2-0 up, 2 away goals. This is going to be the year, come on. Absolutely great ball by Tomasek this. I don't know if he's got the passing stats to justify it, but he uses his left foot as well, and George Mendler, this keeper is shocking. Whoever it is, he's shocking. And there it is, the final highlight of the day. And this is obviously going to be full-time. West Ham 2, Bayern Munich 0, away from home. 2 away goals, 2-goal advantage. I'm in dreamland. We do have one game in the Premier League in between now and the second leg, which is against Liverpool, who are obviously one of our title contenders. I haven't showed you the league actually this episode. This is how the table shapes up. We are 6 points clear with 2 games in hand. So if we beat Liverpool today, I don't think we could mathematically win the league, but realistically, we'll probably win the league. So I just thought I'd pick up the recording right here. We're in 15 minutes to go against Liverpool. We were 1-0 down after the 46th minute from Ousmane Dembele, but Fabio Silva has equalised in the 71st minute to get us back into it. And George Mendler has just put us in front in the 89th minute with 1 minute remaining to go. 30 seconds, get this game out of the way. There it is, West Ham 2, Liverpool 1, and it looks like the Premier League title is going to go our way. I did play a full-strength side against Liverpool because I really did want to get the win, and we've paid the price. Eric Aubrey, one of our key centre-halves for this season, he's played fantastically well. He's out for 3 months, so he's going to miss the rest of this season. So we are here in his second leg day against Bayern Munich, and we are missing some of our key men. Brent Beckiart is still out injured. Eric Aubrey, of course, is out for the rest of the season. Martin Watkins is going to miss today's game, as is obviously Joshua Wagnerman, and Markovic, who would have been Eric Aubrey's replacement, is probably going to miss the rest of the season as well, out for 6 to 9 weeks. So, this is how we are actually going to line up. Craig Davies will start in goal. Cotborough, Luis Felipe and Reece Oxford will go in at centre-back. Puerta as our right wing-back and Aaron Martin as the left. Toussaint in the defensive midfielder position with Sandro Tonali and Villalibre in at centre midfield. Fabio Silva and George Mendler will lead the line. Let's do this. Bayern Munich go with the exact same formation with a few changes in personnel. The defence looks pretty much the same. Guedes comes in, who I don't think started the last game, as didn't Julian Brandt, I can't remember, and Muja goes up top. And just in case anyone was wondering why I pinpointed Muja in particular, because yeah, he's pretty good. As is Apostolou. So we're going to have to be very careful of their 2 strikers in today's game, but we do, of course, have the 2-goal advantage, 2 away goal advantage from the previous leg as Apostolou comes forward. Craig Davies collects. Just a nice, simple, easy game, lads. Don't concede too many, and we'll be through to the semi-finals for the first time in this series. George Mendler picks up the ball on the left-hand side. Does he get dispossessed? He does not. He picks the ball back up. Toussaint on the edge now. Don't shoot. Tonali. Can't find anybody. It's cleared. Luis Felipe comes out and picks up the ball nicely. Puerta on his right hand side. Take the strike, son. James Puerta. He's just a beautiful, beautiful man. And he puts us 1-0 up on the night. 3-0 up on aggregate. He actually put us 1-0 up in the previous leg as well. That's how good he is. Lucas Toussaint kept the ball ticking to Tonali. And Puerta with another excellent finish. This time go to the far post instead of the near post. And we're winning. 4 minutes in and we'll win the ball in a deep position, so we've got to be careful, but we'll find Fabio Silva out and come away with it and release the pressure. He goes down the right hand side. It's got men in the box. Mendler's there, and George Mendler gets on the end of it and he makes it 2-0. Fantastic stuff from us. We broke on them far too easily. Fabio Silva went completely unchallenged right until pretty much the byline, and George Mendler with a great first time finish at the back post. Them two have been great this season. I love them. Another highlight in a corner from Tonali. It comes out to George Mendler on the edge of the box. Tonali again in the box to Toussaint. Come on, what we're going to do with this. Villalibre takes the strike, goes just wide. Highlight now, Aaron Martin with the corner. It's cleared by Matt Hummels, but only as far as Mendler on the edge. He could have went past his man there if he tried, but Aaron Martin manages to pick himself up a penalty after Julian Brandt takes him down in the box. Fabio Silva steps up to take it. Secure the victory, Fabio. That was nervous. I thought the keeper had saved that, but he didn't. Fabio Silva with his 24th goal of the season. He's just been fantastic. And he puts the ball just beyond the keeper. He nearly got to it. 3-0 on the night now. 5-0 on aggregate. We are going to the Champions League semis. And that was it for the first half. We're now at half time. 3-0 up. Absolutely loving life. We're just going to kick on with the second half. Try and reduce the amount of injuries we're getting. And we'll see how we get on. Highlight now. 53 minutes in. Tonali pinches the ball from the Bayern Munich player. And he pinches it back, Alaba, to Hummels. Long punt up. Reece Oxford does well to deal with that. Villalibre can't bring it under control. And Apostolou now is in behind. He takes a strike and hits the post. And Luis Felipe manages to get it clear. Highlight now. Apostolou on the left-hand side for Bayern Munich. Tries to get dispossessed by James Puerta, but Guedes picks it up. Cottborough comes out and gets in a fantastic challenge. Fabio Silva plays the ball through for George Mendler. He's in behind. He takes it out wide. And he still manages to get the goal. West Ham 4, Bayern Munich 0, 6-0 on aggregate. This was a great pass by Fabio Silva to set away George Mendler in behind the defence. I thought he'd screwed it up when he went out wide with that touch, but he manages to get it back in on goal in the far post. This is just such a nice game when it goes well. 70 minutes in now, we're going to make some changes. Aaron Martin's coming off for Alberto Ilias. Igor Villalibre will get Jerlek on, and we'll also get Declan Rice on for Tonali. No point risking anybody at this stage. Just get them off, those who are struggling, and save them for the future legs. Highlight now. Declan Rice plays it to Ilias on this left-hand side. Jerlek in the box, back to Mendler. Love it if he gets his hat-trick. And it's another penalty. George Mendler's got to step up for this one, and he does. And he makes it 5-0, and he gets himself a hat-trick. Absolutely fantastic stuff. 20th goal of the season for the German. Obviously signed from Borussia Dortmund, so he'd be loving this. And he makes it 5-0. What a convincing performance. 5-0 in today's game, 7-0 on aggregate. We have got through to the Champions League semi-finals for the first time in our history. Absolutely, well, let's not say history, in the series history, because I don't know if West Ham have ever been there. But just such relief. I was worried when we played Atletico Madrid. I'll not lie, I was really worried that we weren't even going to get past the first knockout round. So to get as far as we've gotten now is just utterly fantastic. And in the other games, Paris Saint-Germain have made it past Red Bull Leipzig. Borussia Dortmund actually have the advantage over Chelsea, which I would prefer. Man City currently down 1-0 to Manchester United, but have the home leg in the return. When is the semi-final draw? I'll quickly take a look. Right, the semi-final draw is only in 3 days' time, so we're going to go there and we're going to find out who we're facing in the next episode. So here it is, the semi-final draw. We're going to get someone. Man United, Paris Saint-Germain or Borussia Dortmund. Fantastic. Man United got past Man City and Chelsea got knocked out from Borussia Dortmund. I want to avoid Man United, honestly. I don't want to face an English side. We've had such trouble with them in the past. Paris Saint-Germain are out first. Are we going to get them? We do. We get Paris Saint-Germain in the semi-finals. I'm not sure how I feel about that. They've still got Mbappe, who's probably the best player on the game. We'll take a quick look to see. They've still got Neymar as well. Neymar, 33 years of age now, but still unbelievable. So we're going to have to be careful of him. Obviously, Mbappe, as I mentioned, is probably the best player on this year's game, hands down. Absolutely fantastic. Depends where they play him. I would imagine they will play him up front. I would, if I was them. But yeah, some players to take notice of when we get there in the next episode. The assigned Isaac, who we tried to unsettle in the summer, if you didn't know. Well, you wouldn't have knew because you didn't see it. I tried to sign this guy instead of Eric Aubrey. I tried to sign this guy before Eric Aubrey. But we ended up going for Aubrey, obviously. But next episode, Paris Saint-Germain, Champions League semi-finals. Bring it on. If you have enjoyed today's video, please consider leaving a like. And if you enjoy my content, get yourself subscribed. But until next time, take it easy.